when Ethan was born, it was really exciting. Everything was going just the way it should, but right when he was born, they said, we have to take him up to the NICU unit. Something's not right. When he was taken, he was placed on a ventilator, and I was in another room, and it was devastating. We were transported to Children's Hospital, Los Angeles. They did a catheterization, and he had a very serious heart condition. He had a damaged aortic valve. The blood wasn't going into his body. The surgeon had said that we have to do the open heart surgery. We have to. At that point in time, to do a surgery of what they needed to do on a newborn, they didn't know that he could live through it. If they didn't do the surgery, they didn't know that he would live. The doctors aren't even in agreement on what to do. This is all within hours. It wasn't even a day after he had been born. Ethan spent another month in the hospital after that, and he was able to go home. And when he was sent home, he was sent with an oxygen tanks, and he had a G-tube because he couldn't feed by mouth. And he was receiving heart medicines all throughout a 24-hour period, and it was quite a bit. Eventually, as he grew, what was going to happen is that aortic valve was going to need to be made larger so that it could handle the blood flow. At about the age of 4, there was a diagnosis of autism, very high functioning. Everything was in turmoil. Through that time, even though there was faith, I had so much anxiety and was going through depression, and at the same time mixed with faith and trusting the Lord. And I came to a point and just asked the Lord, I said, you know, Lord, I need a relationship with you that's alive. I need a relationship with you in a faith that's unshakable. I've had that with you in the past, but I really want something different, God, and I don't know what to do. I need you. I need your help. 2012, when we came across Pastor Prince's teaching, a friend of mine had mentioned about Pastor Prince, and I turned on the TV and began to watch the programs. The teaching about how much Jesus loves you and the love of Christ and how accepted we are. And it's not about us, it's about having a life that centers around Christ, and it's about what Jesus did. It's not about what we do. To listen to this message every day, we were blessed. And then Ethan, and he would hear the program come on in the morning, and he would run downstairs and couldn't wait to see through this whole thing. He was swinging in the park, playing basketball, going to school, getting awards at school, and had lots of energy. I could hardly keep up with him. So that's how God's grace was through this. We would also listen to the podcasts and the worship music. The worship music, when we would play it, there'd be this just calmness, and it would be in the middle of the night, calmness and peace. Before the open heart surgery, we were in his appointment meeting with the doctors and setting up his surgery, and he told the Children's Hospital, he said, I want to go to Singapore. And they looked and they go, why do you want to go to Singapore? And he said, I want to meet Joseph Prince. And they said, who's Joseph Prince? And he said, he's my pastor. And they go, how do you have a pastor in Singapore? And he said, I watch him on TV with my mom in the morning. And so they were touched by that, and that's when they contacted Make-A-Wish Foundation. Make-A-Wish came, and they came to our house, and they asked him, if you could go anywhere, where would you want to go? He said, Singapore. And they go, if you could meet anybody you would want to meet in the world, who would you want to meet? And he said, Joseph Prince. Once they determined, they had been talking with, I guess, your church, New Creation Church, what the date was. We set a date to do Ethan's wish reveal, and they want the wish reveal to be a magical experience for the child. When we came in, they had a big sign, you're going to Singapore, and a beautiful gifts for him, and he was so happy. He put his hands in the air and he was like, oh, I'm going to Singapore, and he hugged me. He said, Mom, I'm going to Singapore, and he was really excited. He's wanted to meet Pastor, and it's just something he's wanted him to pray for his heart, and he's just had some things he wanted to share. I'm just so thankful to Jesus and how faithful God is. God is so faithful. And he shared with me, he said, so even in those times that it seemed like I wasn't with you or you were being rejected, I always was with you. and I never left you, forsake you. And it's just been, it's amazing and it's beautiful, and we're still believing for complete healing.